Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. I'm your host, Michelle White. My host, Dr. Regina Hall, won't be with us this evening. We'll look to see her next week. And this evening, we do have Miss Marcy Turner. And we've got Natalie Vaughn, and we're going to be talking about teas that you drink that are healthy for your body. And we've got Marcy Turner, who's going to be sharing with us some of those benefits that we can have when we're drinking healthy teas. And her teas are not just healthy, but they also are packed with great flavor. So, and then we have Natalie Vaughn, who's a real estate professional, who is actually tuning in with us from Florida. So, we're going to share that, but before we get started, we always like to give you some community update information. So on my Facebook page, Michelle Turner White, there were too many turkey giveaways to even pull out one, but I've got oodles of free turkey giveaways on my Facebook page, Michelle Turner White. And then lots of job information is posted, as well as other events and things that are happening, but a myriad of job opportunities, expungements. There's an expungement fair coming up for people that have a felony and want to get it expunged so that they can move on better with their lives. As well as if you know someone that needs this information. It might not always be for you. Share it with someone else. But go to my Facebook page, Michelle Turner White, and you can find all of these different things. I'm actually can't wait till my website comes up, because my Facebook page has been just totally now information for other people. So one of those things is Wayne County Community College District is having it's free and open to the public, Sounds of the Season for the holiday. It is the Michigan Philharmonic is going to be at the Downriver campus, where we have a performing arts center, and that'll be Saturday, December the 16th at 7:30 p.m. And again, the tickets are free and open to the public. So contact Wayne County Community College District's Downriver campus, and you can call the box office at area code 734-374-3200. That's 734-374-3200. Expose yourself and expose your children to symphony music. It is really good, and it's great stimulation for the brain. It's soothing to the ears. So the Michigan Philharmonic will be at the Downriver campus of Wayne County Community College District on Saturday, December the 16th. And again, tickets are free and open to the public. And also, WJ Community Updates and WJZZ are giving out tickets for the movie Baby Boomers. And there's several different show times, but we're giving you free tickets, private screening show to Baby Boomers, which is an awesome movie. And you can just go to my website. You can download the information about how to get tickets to Baby Boomers, and when it tells you on the information section, be sure and check that you heard about it on from WJZZ. And again, the tickets are free. They're complimentary tickets that the Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts are giving to people, and the popcorn and the pop is free as well. So be sure and download it and get some free tickets to see the show, the movie Baby Boomers. So those are a couple of things. So let's go right into Miss Marcy Turner. Marcy Turner has been a guest here on the show before, and she was born and raised right here in Detroit. She's a graduate of Cass Tech, and her career journey has just taken her from the public school system. She was one time in private industry in finance, and now she started her own business called Lauren Teas, and she ships Lauren Teas to various customers throughout the region of the United States, all regions of the United States. And the teas are wonderful. They're flavorful and good for our health. So she's been awarded the 70 over 70 Hannah House Award in her category of entrepreneurship. So she's an active entrepreneur, and she's going to be telling us how we can benefit from some of these teas. And then we also have Miss Natalie Vaughn. Natalie, you want to say something? You're calling. We can see you all the way in from Florida. You're here from Florida. Are you there, Natalie?
I am. Yes, I am. Thank you so much for having me, first of all, Michelle. It's really a delight to be on the program.
Yes, and so Miss Natalie Vaughn, let me tell you a little bit about her. She's been in the financial services business for over 2 decades, and she's a financial planner. She started out as a financial planner and in the insurance industry, and she moved to the mortgage industry, and now she's even expanding her business to Florida. So she's from Detroit, so she has a business in Detroit, and God has enlarged her territory, and now she is opening up a business in Florida, a real estate business, correct?
That's correct.
And
That's
it's
correct.
called Dominion Realty Partners. So you'll be able to get in touch with both she and Marcy Turner, and we're going to share their information. But we want you to know, and we thank you for tuning in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts right here. We're live every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Right here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and all other top social media platforms. And when you tune in, we need you to like us, share, and follow, and comment and subscribe. When you subscribe, it doesn't cost anything. It just pings you and lets you know when the show is coming on. So if you go to YouTube and hit subscribe, it will just let you know when the show comes on Wednesdays from 6 to 7. And again, we thank you for watching us right here on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And you can call in to us right here at 313-355-6018. Again, that's 313-355-6018. While we're on air, feel free to call, ask questions of our guest, or feel free to even text or put comments in the comment section, both on the Facebook page as well as on YouTube, whichever one you might be watching us on. So, Marcy, tell us how you got involved with tea in the tea industry.
Yes. Thank you so much, Michelle, for your invitation to allow me to come back on your broadcast today.
Yes.
It's a pleasure and it's a privilege to be here with my cohort, Nellie Vaughn. We share the real estate together, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about Lauren Tees right now. And that is, I started Lauren Tees back in 2004. And it started because I was having trouble sleeping at night, as well as I was always catching colds. I decided to do some research. I thought it was really just myself doing all of this, but I have to give honor to my dear Lord, because he was the impetus behind me wanting to do the research to solve a problem. And that's what it was, solving a problem for myself initially.
Okay.
So I did some research in the libraries, purchased some different herbal blends, herbs that I blended myself, and came up a little concoction. I called it a concoction at the time, that I found helped me to not catch colds.
Okay.
The second tea that I concocted was a tea to help me sleep, because I was on Ambien sleeping pills, and as anyone may know, that can become addictive.
So we've got some of your great teas here today.
Yes.
We're drinking tea.
Yes, we are.
Natalie, I'm sorry you don't have some tea right there in Florida, but you've
I
got the
know,
sunshine.
I know, I've got to get, I love Marcy's teas. They're so wonderful.
Aren't they?
Yes.
So right now, this one is for my immune system. I have the
Health-wise.
what is it called?
Healthwise.
Healthwise. And it helps my immune system. Is peppermint leaf, red raspberry, lemon balm, echinacea, rose hips, and elder flowers.
Yes.
Let me
Yes, and I'm also drinking the Healthwise tea as well. And it does. It strengthens the immune system to ward off a cold. And I also have a flu formula in it now, too. So it's a very good tasting tea, but more so than that, it's a healthy tea. And that's what I specialize, health and wellness. I want to help people stay healthy or get healthier.
And
And that's
teas
what makes Lauren tea.
have a huge, properties in them that people have been using from China
Oh, yes.
forever, right?
Oh, yes. It goes back a long time before BC when they first discovered tea. And it was in China.
Okay.
But what makes Lauren Teas unique is that you can't just go to the store and buy my tea. You have to get it from Lauren Teas, from me as the proprietor.
That's right.
Because I custom blend every tea in my repertoire of 25 teas. And actually it's growing. I actually have a couple more that are not in my brochure that I have.
So people will
blended
tell you
together.
about what they're challenged with, and then you will make teas for them based on their needs.
I try to, yes.
So that's really specializing. That's unique.
Yes. I started the first farmer's market that I did in Redford with 5 teas.
Okay.
It has grown by leaps and bounds. In my brochure, I now have 25 teas.
Wow.
So I've made that 5-fold increase in my production.
Okay. That's awesome.
I have several testimonials that talk about my teas. Can I share a couple with you?
Yes,
Sure.
certainly.
Deja, who I know, wrote about the Lauren's healthy Hawaiian tea. She said the pineapple taste is absolutely delicious. It's refreshing, flavorful, and feels pure and rejuvenating, not bitter. It's a must-have order for me every week. She actually buys it ice cold, and she says, I love it ice cold. And Gay wrote, this is an interesting one because I didn't even know that this particular tea did all this for a customer. Gay wrote, I have been suffering with osteoarthritis and spinal stenosis and other joint muscle aches. My neighbor introduced me to Lauren Teas. That citrus passion tea relieves and soothes my discomfort. I am truly glad I was introduced to Lauren Teas. So I just have a plethora of testimonials about my tea, but I have to read a disclaimer too because teas are not regulated by the FDA. Most of what you hear about teas is through personal testimonials of what teas do for people, what they say that how it helps them. The disclaimer I have to share is that the statements that I put out in my brochures and testimonials from people are statements that have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. All information and products are to be used only as a food supplement and not to be used to treat, mitigate, or cure any symptoms or disease. That being said, I want to explain that a little farther because the FDA does not regulate. They have not studied teas.
Okay.
They have not put them through scientific testing. So that being the case, it's not that teas aren't good for you. It's not that they don't have health and wellness benefits, but the FDA just hasn't studied it. So I have to put that disclaimer on.
Well, certainly we don't want you to get in trouble for anything, so definitely the disclaimers are important. So what are some of your top-selling teas?
Wow, that's a good question.
And what's that? You said citrus. I'm going to get some of the one that has for body aches because sometimes I have body aches and that'll be good. And I have found that your teas are natural.
Yes.
And there are a lot of natural, holistic things and ways and things and properties that we need to be putting in our bodies opposed to all the medication.
Exactly.
So I'm forever searching out natural homeopathic ways to be relieved from whatever the symptom might be.
Right, and I put no preservatives in my tea. It's all natural. Some of them are actually kosher certified, as well as gluten-free. They're all gluten-free. And some of them are actually herbal and organically grown as well.
And I'm loving this tea that I'm sipping on.
So you asked me a question about my top selling teas. And some of those top selling teas are health-wise, what you're drinking.
Okay.
This time of year through the spring is an excellent tea to keep that immune system built up So when we're out and about where people are coughing with colds, flus, and we won't mention that other nasty word out there that's spreading around. It's been here a couple of years.
And people are getting more COVID.
Yes.
And it's not coming back, but definitely people have been catching it again.
Holiday mango is another top seller of mine.
Holiday mango?
Holiday mango. Okay. Yes. You're not familiar with that one, are you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. That one is very good as a hot or cold tea.
Okay.
I sell more of it as a cold tea in the summers because it has such a good flavor to it. And I brought it out at the holiday time, which is why I named it Holiday Mango. And I was going to change the name after the holiday, but people said, "Oh, we love the sound of that Holiday Mango," so it just stuck.
Okay.
But it's a black tea that's flavored with mango, and it is good for reducing cholesterol, type 2 diabetes. It's very high in antioxidants.
Okay.
It's good for prevention of kidney stones, Parkinson's disease, strengthens bones in the heart, and it also is an anti-cancer tea, which all of your black, green, and white teas are all anti-cancer teas as well. So Healthy Hawaiian is a green tea that I mentioned
Did you
before.
all hear that? Anti-cancer. So we want to prevent cancerous cells from accumulating in our bodies, and we have to do certain things, eat a certain way, so that we can help to prevent and combat some of those things that might try to attack our system.
Right, because we all have some cancer cells. We just want to keep them from multiplying.
So I know you've got a few more to share with us on your top teas, but Natalie, do you have a favorite of one of Lauren's teas since you like them as well?
I do. The Holiday Mango is actually my favorite.
Okay.
So normally, they're available. I know Marcy sells. That's usually with all three of the Holiday Mango. They're delicious teas. They last long, and I really do feel a difference. I've also done the immune tea that's been very effective as well.
Yes. So
Well, I'm going to have to try some of that Holiday Mango.
Yes, you will, Michelle.
Mango's my favorite, so I always go for that one first.
Okay.
Now, the tea that I mentioned in the very beginning, also Tranquil, that's the top selling tea because it helps for sleep. A lot of people have sleep deprivation. So that tea is a very good seller of mine. It's all herbal, no caffeine in it.
Okay.
So it helps you sleep. Inflammation ease has really grown by leaps and bounds. A lot of people I'm finding have inflammation in their body. So inflammation ease has become one of my top sellers as well.
Okay.
And Cleanse Me has really grown in popularity. People like to detox and cleanse the body.
So people are buying your teas, it sounds like, for natural homeopathic alternatives to various things that they are experiencing within their bodies. And that is one of the huge things about, teas. And first thing that people will mention, well, you need to have a turmeric tea, you need to have this tea, or you need to have that tea.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yes.
And I love that all of your teas are natural. And how can people get in touch with you to order some of your teas?
Yes, there are a few ways they can get in touch with me. Number one of the fastest ways to get in touch with me is just call me. Call me or text me. You can call or text this number 248-757-3148. I'll repeat that. If you have a pen and pencil handy and a paper, it's 248-757-3148. You can also have a website that you can go on and order, and I will ship it to your home. That website is very easy. It's www.lauren, LORANTEAS, as in teas, .com. I'll repeat that, www.LORAN, as in Nancy, TEAS, as in Sam.com. So those are two ways. And I'll also give you my email, because I read emails every day. If you feel that you want to reach out and ask a question and you want to just put it in an email, that email address is Lauren Teas, LORANTEAS seven, the number seven, not spelled out, but just the number seven at yahoo.com. So that's three ways that you can easily get in touch with me to order some awesome, delicious, and specialty tea from me.
Okay, wonderful. Well, right here on Community Updates, we do like to share businesses and other information that things that people are doing out here just around the world. And your teas are shipped, so you can ship them anywhere around the world. So
Yes.
don't be sure and contact Marcy Turner at 248-757-3148. And she has teas available in gallons, half gallons, and 12-ounce bottles that can be shipped right to your home and provide energy, healthy properties, citrus, and great flavors. And you can get your order today. And so, Marcy, you're also going to be at a couple of vending events where you're going to be a vendor. Is that
Yes.
it?
Yes.
So you have a pop-up show on December the 2nd.
Yes.
Saturday, December the 2nd from 12 to 4 p.m. And I see that's going to be on Telegraph. Is that a certain building on Telegraph?
It's called the Straith Building, Straith, but it's
Okay.
not on that building, so please give the address out.
Okay. The address is 24293 Telegraph, Suite 214 in Southfield, Michigan. Again, that's 24293 Telegraph Road, Suite 214 in Southfield, Michigan. And that will be Saturday, December the 2nd from 12 noon to 4 o'clock p.m. Lauren Tees is having a holiday pop-up. So be sure and go.
Can I tell a little bit about that?
Just a
pop-up?
little.
Okay, a
We
little
want to
bit.
get right into the real estate.
Okay, yeah, a little bit about that pop-up. We're going to have 10 entrepreneurs, all selling different type merchandise. It's a specialty merchandise.
Okay.
So just like my teas are specialty, each one of the vendors will be a specialty vendor. All African American vendors. So please come out, and all small businesses. So please come out and support African American small businesses on that Saturday, December 2nd.
Awesome. And then are you going to be a vendor at this event?
Yes,
Okay, so she's also going to be a vendor is this a play?
that's a comedy
A
show.
comedy show called A Merry Heart. It's part of the Deeper Life Gospel Center, and it's called A Merry Heart. And they're going to have a clean comedy show on
December 9th.
December the 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. At the Deeper Life Gospel Center at 20601 Beach Daily in Redford, Michigan. Tickets are $25, and you can call 313-794-0975. Again, that's 313-794-0375. So you can go and have some comedy, get some tea, and there'll be other vendors as well. So you'll be able to just peruse the whole vendor area of this venue and get some comedy to boot.
Yes.
Won't that be nice? I love a
Yes.
good comedy show.
And you can get there as early. The doors open at 4 o'clock, so you can shop with the vendors, and they will have food available before the show.
And again, that's going to be at the Deeper Life Gospel Center on December the 9th from 5
that's a
to
Saturday.
7 p.m. And that is a Saturday?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So let's go. Natalie, we thank you for your patience and hearing all about the teas. And Lauren had just had some wonderful teas, Marcy, wonderful teas. And now both of you are involved in the real estate business. And so, well, Natalie, why don't you tell us how you got involved in the real estate business?
So I will tell you that, and let me kind of do a little backpedal for Marcy. She's going to be hosting a wonderful open house this Saturday. Marcy, why don't you give them the information? And I'm going to invite you, Marcy, to bring some of your teas with you in case someone wants to pick them up. She's got an open house happening at a great commercial facility, and folks that want to rent single individual furnished offices right off of what is the address, Marcy? It's McNichols, correct?
Right. Yeah, I'll take it from here, Natalie, if you don't
Okay.
mind. Yes, it's 15900 West McNichol Street in Detroit. That's 48235. That's 15900 West McNichol Street, right at the corner of Prevost, which is west of Greenfield in Detroit.
So this is an open house of a commercial property.
This is a commercial building that sits right on the corner. It's this Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. I will be there with this open house event. And as Natalie said, there will be individual suites for lease at very attractive competitive pricing. So please come check it out. If you are a businessman or a business person that's looking for some space to set up an office, or if whatever your type of business is, whatever that might be, if you're looking for some space that you don't want a storefront yourself, but you just need some office space that you can put your business in, that is available at this location. It's very, very nice. We have about 8 or 9 suites that we are renting out at that facility, and those are all will be under leasing arrangements.
Okay. So you heard it here. There's an open house this coming Saturday, at from 1 to 4, November the 11th, from 1 to 4 at 15900 West McNichols. And so if you're looking for some commercial property, something that you want to lease out, or you can be sure and contact and go to this open house and get some Lauren teas to boot.
Yes, maybe I'll just set up some there. That sounds like a great idea,
Uh
Michelle.
huh. Yes. So that's another place you can go. So Natalie, and both, this is a question for either of you. But how did you got involved with real estate? You work with Natalie Vaughn. So Natalie Vaughn, and we again thank you for being our guest here today on Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. So how did you get involved in the real estate market?
Well, thank you so much once again, Michelle, for inviting me. And I'll tell you, years ago, and this is years and years and years ago, I started off in the insurance business, but that wasn't where I started. Actually, I'm a licensed minister, professional public speaker. I was traveling after college, speaking at churches, speaking at events, and after about 6 months, I recognized that I was living on credit cards. Okay, not the positive way to go. And I went back and one of the gentlemen that sits on my board, I said, I've got to do something through the week because I had consistent engagement at churches. I'm a faith preacher. That's what I do. This is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
My business is tent ministry, right? Like Paul had a tent ministry when he wasn't
Yep.
ministering. He had a
Okay.
tent ministry. So my experience with it, I got into the insurance industry because I could control my time and I could do it as needed. And I started through the week. I got very involved. I got very ambitious. I started making really good money and became a manager of New York. I was living in Atlanta, Georgia at the time. And they promoted me and moved me to Michigan. And across the hall, there was a mortgage company. And during the evening, I kind of learned a little bit about the mortgage business. Long story very short, I got an opportunity to close a couple of transactions back in, oh my gosh, I'm dating myself. This was more than, 20 years ago. Okay. And a couple of loans, and it was phenomenal things. I realized that I've been doing financial services, doing financial planning. I had my Series 6 license. We were doing mutual funds. I was annuities. I mean, I was really involved, committed. Okay,
So
committed.
Natalie, let me understand. You're a mortgage loan officer as well as a real estate
Professional.
professional, right?
Well, let me continue on down the road here, kind of giving a backstory. So currently, I'm not doing mortgages. I will be doing mortgages again very soon, but not
Okay.
currently.
Okay.
I do commercial loans primarily for churches. So I do have um, my business set up to do commercial loans for churches,
Okay.
purchases and refinance.
Mm-hmm.
But what the exciting thing about getting into, I learned mortgage business. They were across the hall. I learned the business. I decided, hey, I've been in, insurance for many, learn finances from this side, the actual real estate market.
Okay.
So for about 7, 8 years, up until the crash, I was an account executive. I was an underwriter. I was a loan officer. Then I began in 2003, actually, my own business, Genesis Financial Services. We had an office downtown and an office in Southfield. We were very busy, and we hung on until about 2010 when all the banks just blew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody kind of had to change their strategy about what they did for business. So I got a great opportunity to learn not only and do great business in the mortgage industry, which I absolutely love, and we're reinstating now to actually go back into that part of the business. But I decided to come back, after a couple of years of going back into, I love the real estate market. I love, Detroit at the time was a great investment great investment city. I'll say one thing about Detroit. Detroit has the best homes, brick, solid, beautiful homes that you could not buy anywhere else in the country for the prices that are in Detroit, Michigan and surrounding areas. Okay. And I got an opportunity to go back and get my real estate license. And so a little more than 7 years ago, I did that. And I actually recruited Marcy out of retirement. So she focuses on leases, but I recruited Marcy out of retirement. I said, come on, dust that off and come on back into the business. So yeah, she focuses on a lot of leases at this time.
So this is how's the market right now in the real estate business? It sounds like it's pretty good.
It is great.
Good for
There's
the buyer. Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market right
Well,
now?
right now, actually, it's a little more of a seller's market. Prices are holding as far as um, staying on the market a little longer. So if you are a buyer, you're certainly having a little more leverage in negotiating prices.
Mm-hmm.
The interest rates are high. Everybody knows this. Interest rates right now are a little high. But there's a saying in this industry that says, marry the house, date the interest rate.
Okay.
And what that simply means is that the interest rates are going to change. The interest rates are going to change on a few things. One, on your credit score. Two, it's going to change because the market's going to change. In about 6 months, the interest rates will be lower. And so if you find a house that you can get a fantastic deal on right now that, the owners are willing to give you seller concessions and help with closing costs, now is a perfect time. And especially the fall. Usually houses that are on the market now, the sellers are very anxious to sell.
So here in the Detroit area, I know this is a hot spot for people that are buying properties in Detroit from around the world. Because we sit on the border of another country, and there's just so much import, export, and various things. That Detroit is just booming as far as building and coming back and becoming a more vibrant city. So they used to have programs where you could get homes in Detroit, and I know Florida's booming as well as far as property ownership and people purchasing properties. So are there's still programs where you can get properties for little or nothing, like maybe a couple of $1,000s?
Well, there are phenomenal first-time home buyer
Mm-hmm.
um, down programs,
Okay.
anywhere from 5,000 all the way to $25,000.
Okay.
So I've had clients come into closing with as little money as $1,500, actually paying less money to buy a house than it is to rent a home. They're coming to closing, picking up keys, and the house is theirs. So there's a lot of really great, and you don't have to have 700 FICO scores. I want to kind of demystify the credit issue. Right now, because the market is the way that it is, a lot of banks have loosened up their programs and made it very realistic for the average person with a 600 FICO score to get a mortgage.
So you want to get your credits for those listeners. You want to get your credit score up to at least $600, and then some. I mean, 600 points, right? Your FICO score.
That's right.
And so, and then some of these down payment assistance programs teach you and train you how to get your credit score up, and they assist you with that. Correct?
That's correct. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, our organization is having a workshop here in just a few weeks via Zoom. And if you want to email us or give us a call, text us, we'll definitely make sure that you have the information on how to get your scores up very easily to that 600, 620, 640 so that you can qualify for a down payment assistance program. Most of the down payment assistance programs for the larger amounts, 25,000, 15,000, you have to be at a 645 score.
Okay.
So we can show you exactly how to get there, and it's not a hard thing. Usually within 90 days, you can be at a 640.
You can get your credit score up to 640 within 90 days.
If you let me disclaimer, okay? If you focus, follow instruction, obviously you have to be financially able to pay off collections, pay them down. A couple of companies I work with can refer you to also do some credit counseling that if you need some sort of credit correction, they'll help as well. But normally, if you just have very normal credit, meaning if you've got a 550 score, 560, 60 days, you can actually be in 640, 620.
So that is awesome. So in about 60 days, you can possibly be in a better position to purchase a home for yourself, which is better than renting. If you are a homeowner, then you've got greater opportunity in making an investment that can benefit you in the long run. So many people have sold properties throughout. Property is still the key thing to have as an investment in your life.
It's a foundation for wealth.
It's a foundation for wealth. Exactly. So tell us how can they contact you to get and to be a part of this workshop? When is the workshop?
So actually it is directly before Thanksgiving, the weekend before Thanksgiving. I don't have the dates directly in front of me right now, but they can call or text 586-610-9188, and we'll make sure that they have the information.
So again, that phone number for the workshop that is the weekend before Thanksgiving, and that's like the 17th or something.
Yes.
So contact Natalie at area code 586-610-9188. Again, that's 586-610-9188. Or you can go to her website, which is dominionrealtygroup.com or .org?
.com. Or you can go to our Facebook page, Dominion Realty Group, and leave a message there, and we'll get directly back with you.
Awesome. I was sharing with Natalie that I have met her. So I've met you some years ago, but I'm friends with you on her Proverbs 31. Is it called Proverbs 31 Woman?
It's called Proverbs 31 Winner Woman.
Winner Woman.
Yeah, Winner Woman. That's right. And it's based on the Proverbs 31 woman, the modern day. She's progressive, she's skilled, she's dynamic, she's kind, she's full of wisdom. She's shrewd. She is a business woman. She is just a very godly woman. We're all working to be, we got that 30, 60, 80, 100-fold return, right? We're all working to be more of who she is. But that's the page on Facebook. Proverbs 31 Winner Woman. Yeah.
I love it because you often will put positive things of encouragement that I might need to hear for the day. And it's important for us to encourage one another. Too often we're busy, especially women, we can be catty and too shrewd with one another, and that's not good. That's not a we need to learn how to help and insist one, just as people, period, the men and the women, but we need to keep lifting each other up. And if we're looking at what the Bible says, it says everybody wants to talk about God coming. Well, the Bible says to encourage each other even the more as you see the day approaching. So if you think things are getting bad, it is more of a time to lift each other up, to encourage one another and assist one another. And that's one of the things that we seek to do right here with Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. That's part of our purpose, is to lift up other people, to encourage and let other people know about the services and gifts and talents that are out here and within us all. Everybody has a gift or a talent that they've been given, and some of us several gifts and talents, and they're for us to use as we let our light shine right here on the planet for the short time that we're here. It's a short time. So how can we get some people into a home? How should people prepare for buying a home? Now, that question either one of you can answer. What are some top 3 things or some things that people, if they want to buy a home, what should they be doing to help prepare to purchase a home?
Well, I'll say the number one thing is they need to start trying to pay off some debt and save money. And that seems like a dichotomy in a sense, because you're trying to pay off your debt, so you'll have a debt to income ratio that is low. But you're also needing to set some money aside for that down payment, because yes, you have to. We can offer you some down payment assistance, but you have to come to the table with some money.
So now, even with the down payment assistance, I think some of those assistance programs give you like $3,000 down. Is that across the
Well,
board?
they're anywhere from $3,000 up to $25,000.
Oh,
We're actually
okay.
working with National Faith Home
Okay.
Ownership Program, and they offer a program for the city of Detroit with $25,000 in grant funds.
Wow. So, but even with that, do you still need to have some money saved as a down payment?
Yes.
Okay. So either way it goes, you want to show good faith that you can save and have some money saved in the bank, even with the $3,000 to $25,000 that you can receive with becoming a part of one of the down payment assistance programs.
Yes.
Okay. What are some other things, Natalie, that people want to do to prepare and buying a home?
So the other is obviously to figure out your strategy. Are you buying this for an investment property? Is this going to be the home that you're going to live in for the next 50 years? Is this just a very short period of time? 3 to 5 year home, we find people move anywhere between 3 to 7 years is the average. And you have to, going into it, have a mind, is this going to be my long-term home where I raise my children, or my retirement home? A condominium, or brownstone or something like that. So really understanding what type of property you want to really get into long term. I have people that call the office every day and say, well, I don't know, maybe I'll do an investment property and buy a duplex and live in one side, maybe I'll get a single family home. And you have to have clear vision. Having clear vision, knowing what you're looking for and the reason you're looking for it is paramount.
Okay.
And you have to start thinking about where you'd like to locate, where you want to relocate to. So when I say relocate, if you're living in Ferndale, for example, do you want to stay in that community? Do you want to venture out to another community? Oak Park, Southfield, Farmington, Detroit? Get in your mind what area you want to start looking into, because you don't want to be all over the map. You want to kind of focus.
That's right.
Focus it in place.
And you're able to let people know when they pick a particular area, like how the school system is in that area. And I'm sure those are questions that people ask.
Sure,
if are there a lot of children in this neighborhood? I know people that have selected neighborhoods because they didn't want a lot of little children around, so they would ask, prior to purchasing the property, is it free from children? So you all have to do a lot of research, I would imagine, too, when you're before seeing clients or once you see clients.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to talk about is that you have to be able to financially afford the home, because there is a maintenance side to owning a home. You can't put all your dollars into paying a mortgage and insurance and property taxes. You also want to maintain the home, so you want to be able to have some money for like a reserve. So when things come up, because when you home ownership is a responsibility. It's not like renting. You can't call up the landlord and say the plumbing needs to be fixed or the furnace went out. So you want to be house savvy in terms of preparing yourself to properly be able to afford the home. You don't want to just move in.
And what is a good amount that people might want to have set aside to maintain for mishaps or things that just, having home ownership entails?
Well, I would say personally, you should try and set aside $100 a month if you can. That's $1,200 a year, and just set that aside that you won't touch it for anything but household needs that come up, repairs that come up.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the other thing about that is that you're going to have, the bank is going to require showing that you have at least 2 to 3 months of reserves of your monthly payment. So that money in itself can be your funds that are set aside for your long-term ownership.
Okay.
As long as you don't dip into it once you move in there. And go on vacations and celebrate that you bought a house. Yes.
So the bank, though, you said requires that you have some money set
Yeah, now
aside.
they do,
And
yes.
That's correct.
reserves.
That is correct.
Okay. So what else do we want to share with people that might be interested in purchasing a home or commercial property?
Certainly credit is fair, looking at your full credit report. There are things that will come up on your report that you may not be aware of. You can always go to preannualcreditreport.com and you can look at all 3 of your bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and TRW. Look at the history for 24 months. 24 months is going to tell the bank your faithfulness in paying your bills. The worst thing that happens to people that are getting ready to purchase a home is if they fall behind on payments. The late payments will.
That's okay.
So,
So,
uh-oh.
well, we're getting ready. We've got to wrap it up now. But so people, I just want to let people know before we go off how they can reach you again. So Natalie, they can reach you at 586-610-9188. And Marcy, they can reach you at 248-757-3148. So be sure and get in touch with them for some of your real estate needs, both commercial properties and residential properties. And you can be purchasing here